Rob and Kale podcast. Rob Sanders.
Some would be entertained by it. Some would be horrified by
Kale
it.
Carolina Jackpot Hall.
All would be interested in it.
The Rob and Kale podcasts.
Let's go.
And welcome into the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders in Columbia, South Carolina this evening. My buddy Carolina Jackpot is up in Poconos, looking down upon us from a mountain. Look at those peasants coming to watch the fine program this evening. I think that's what I heard him saying in the warm-up. Welcome to the show, sir.
Rob, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Man, better than I deserve.
I hear you. Well, Jackpot, we're in the heart of talking season. Can we give folks a travel update? What's going on up there? Let's talk about that for a second. You're in Pennsylvania now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hasn't been a whole heck of a lot going on. It's been kind of rainy and she really haven't been able to do a lot. So
So you didn't get to go to New York City.
Well, I didn't. We chose not to. Just didn't go. But that's fine. Tomorrow morning we're going to eat at the large buffet.
That's a highlight of the trip. Shady and Maples, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. I got it right. Anyway,
we're leaving in the morning early. We're gonna leave at like 6 o'clock because it's only open from 7 to 10. It takes a couple hours to drive there from here, but it's gonna be good.
Yeah. So going to eat at like one of the biggest and best buffets in the country. That's Jackpot's future tomorrow. That's one of those places you can go and eat like really, really good, and you ain't got to eat. You even got to eat later, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. So Jackpot's wearing is that a Syracuse shirt I'm seeing you wearing?
That's a Rutgers shirt, sir.
Oh, Rutgers. My bad.
Yeah, which I had before I came here. I didn't get that here, but I was flipping on. It's kind of cool outside. It's like 68 degrees.
Okay. Billy says you could have come here to Cleveland, Tennessee for a buffet. Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
They have them all over, but.
All right. So Randall says, Jackpot, make sure you only eat a salad ton at that
salad
buffet.
ton? Is that English?
I think he meant solid ton, but maybe he spelled, I don't know.
I don't know.
I hope that's what he meant. I don't know. I'm not trying to. So there you go. All right. So Jackpot, is anything that you have out there that you want to get after this evening? Anything that's made you go, huh, today? Besides, I sent you something where there's a person in one of our Facebook groups that we're in that wrote this diatribe that was complete horseshit. And I literally, I took the screenshot of it and I sent it to Jackpot with, I hate our fan base. Because it was just stupid on top of stupid.
Yeah, we only have one receiver who's caught a meaningful pass in college or something like that.
It was pretty bad. Pretty bad when you stop and think about it.
And we brought in a couple from the transfer portal that caught more than one or two meaningful ones, but yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. I don't even know where to go with that. But
I see that our buddy Lane Kiffin was at it trolling again. with the whole Juice Wells thing. He's his workout tape to the 2001 routine. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, he was out there working out, catching passes on the field there at Vaught Hemingway Stadium, and they're doing it to the 2001 song.
I mean, Lane Kiffin doesn't give a shit, so he's gonna troll everybody. What's up to Gamecock Chuck? Big Barney Ross says, "Can we get a Louisville Clemson simulation?" Yes, we can do that for you. I got to look at. We'll check on that and make sure that I can't remember. We'll definitely have that in the mix, sir. There you go with that. We're taking suggestions for the simulations too. If you want to get involved with that, let us know. We'll do some of them. As we get closer to the season, though, we're going to simulate the 11 games that are in the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. So the simulation will have a spot in the Pick'em Challenge. And by the way, thanks to Callaway's for sponsoring that. We appreciate them. And this is kind of our signature event, right, Jackpot?
It is. It absolutely is. We have a heck of a good time with this. I was going to talk to you this evening. I was going to call you before the show and pitch something to you about that, but I'll talk to you about it when we get done here tonight.
Oh, well.
Something I think if we go through with it, if Rob agrees to it, might entice a few more you people out there to join. Sit here and run your trap all year long, and then won't put up the dirty ass $20 to get in this little contest.
All right. Well, we can talk about that. I'm pretty much open to anything, but we'll see. Nick says, "Are you going to sim Jackpot's shitter of the week?"
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing: if the teams are on the game, we will. Okay. So what I mean by that is that there's going to be some weeks where I got to remember. I think there's 134 teams there. If if the teams are available, we will do it. So there you go with that.
Yeah. So I only do FBS teams. It should be there.
Yeah, they should be there. So you see how that rolls out. That should be fun though. But we'll talk about whatever it is. The jackpot surprise at the end of the program here. We'll see what's going on with that. All right, so Lane Kiffin trolling. Yeah, we're good with that. Tomorrow at ACC kickoff, I'll be talking to let's see here. Who have I got scheduled? All the Clemson folks that are there. North Carolina. So it's Clemson, North Carolina, NC State, and Syracuse. Those are the 4 schools that will be there tomorrow.
Clemson, Syracuse, NC State, and who?
And North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll have a Dave Doran sighting. I'll try not to vomit. And
ACC Media Day is going to last a while. Do they have how many teams? Do they have more teams in the SEC now, or no?
There's 16 teams. I mean, tomorrow is the last day of it. So,
okay.
Yeah,
that's right. They were doing it. I saw where.
Yeah, so
Mike
that's
Norvell was up there.
Commissioner was doing his thing and all that, and it's kind of like I think that our audience cares about the Clemson folks and maybe the Florida State folks to an extent, but they had one day where it's literally like Stanford, Cal, and Duke and Wake. I think was the lineup there, and I'm like, that lineup's not going to draw shit. Nobody's going to want to go and see those folks, except for the.
That's the hashtag never drew a dime day.
Never drew. Yeah, they're there
Never
stealing
drew
money.
a dime.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see here. I've got it right here. Let me look at it here. Hold on. I'll tell you who it is because it's all right. So on let's see here. So Monday was Florida State, Georgia Tech, and SMU. Tuesday was Cal, Pitt, Stanford, Virginia, and Virginia Tech. Out of all those teams, they had what? 5 teams there that day that might finish the season with 8 conference wins. I would not be with Pitt and Virginia Tech leading the way. And then today was Boston College, Duke, Louisville, Miami, and Wake Forest. Yeah. There you go. What a lineup today. Oof. I was texting with Lawton Swan from Clemson Sports Talk earlier, and he was like, "Yeah, man, plenty of room up here." And I realized why. Gamecock Chuck with a good question. I was actually going to bring this up. The young man from Rock Hill, South Carolina, Malik Clark, the third-rated prospect in the state of South Carolina, has it his choices left down to North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida State.
I gotta say he's got 2 crystal balls to South Carolina. I gotta think that's a massive letdown if he goes elsewhere. Massive letdown. Plus, you got a former Gamecock on his coaching staff there, which I don't really know how much he's coached him yet, since they haven't really, he hasn't been there, but just a little while, but still.
I was looking at it, and the weird thing with him, and I would think, and maybe this is just me, Jackpot, and I'm not trolling here, Clemson did not offer him. I don't know. He's a 4-star prospect, rated at what? On the 247 Sports Composite, rated at 92.02. But according to the 247 Sports website, Clemson did not offer him. He had offers from Florida State, North Carolina, South Carolina, NC State, App State, Arkansas, Auburn. A laundry list of programs there. Georgia Tech, Kentucky offered, Liberty offered. But then you scrolled, and Notre Dame offered him. What in the blue hell is going on that this young man has all these major offers from all these schools, but not offered at Clemson? I think I can look right here on the site, and it tells me what it is. It's Tyler Grisham. That's what I think.
I don't know. I don't know. Did they haul in any wide receivers here in the 2024
It says they've got 11 on the roster. It says I've only got 1 commit.
This year, in 2024.
So 11 on the roster. Stellato, Randall. Stellato's a senior. Randall, Williams, and Turner are juniors, so they're in their final year. Sophomores are 2 Johnsons, Hanafin, Kelly, and Brown. Freshmen are Moore and Wesco, which they're supposed to be really good. And then 1 2025 player, a kid from named Preston. But Clemson didn't offer this young man, which I don't know if he's going to be good or not. But if you have a 4-star prospect in your state and he's less than 100 miles from your campus and you don't offer him, it's either A, you're the smartest guy in the room, which I find hard to believe. I'm just saying, look, if it were just South Carolina, App State, and Western Michigan that offered him, I could completely get that. But I'm talking about Auburn. Virginia. I'm listing all these schools here that are Power 5 schools. Pitt, Notre Dame, Kentucky, Illinois. The list is big, and not even counting the smaller schools like Coastal and Charlotte, but Boston College, Auburn, Arkansas, NC State, North Carolina, Florida State. You don't offer this kid? I'm telling you, something is amuck up there. I don't.
Schultz says, Jackpot, you said you hated the phrase "limp flea," but then you used it in a comment on one of your posts. No, I didn't. You didn't ever see me use it.
Yeah,
Rob, did you comment on something, Rob, as under mine? And say that?
No,
I don't think he did.
I don't comment under Jackpot's handle.
If I did, it has to be pretty old because
Well, if you did, it might be sarcastic too. But
I probably used it back in like 2007.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but anyway, whoever the young man goes to, you know, Thomas says Robbie hasn't sent any wide receiver to the league since he's been at Clemson. Well, T. Higgins is there. He worked with T. Higgins, if I remember correctly, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't get it. The link to join the show is there.
The wide receivers coach down at Clemson back when who was the coach there on the national championship teams?
Well, hold on. I'll look that up right now because that's a good question. So you want to do like 2018 Clemson football? I'll look up all the coaches here. The link is by the show right there. If you want to join us here, coaches for what 2018?
I was thinking Thomas said Jeff Scott. I was thinking that too.
Well, the 2018 team was the last national championship squad. Your offensive coordinator was Tony Elliott. Defensive coordinator was Jeff Scott.
No, Brent Venables was the defensive coordinator.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Brent Venables is the defensive coordinator. What am I looking at here? Let's see your personnel.
They were co-offensive coordinators, right?
Right. With Jeff Scott was the wide receiver coach for that team, according to what I'm reading here, and Tony Elliott coached the running backs. So yeah, man, that's some silly stuff there.
What happened? What is Jeff Scott doing nowadays?
He's living up there. I don't know if he's not he's not on the staff, but I think that if things move around this season, he may end up being on the staff at some point, as an analyst or whatever. But he doesn't have a job right now. So Schultz says Jeff Scott was a fraud. Elliott called the plays. No, sir. They worked on plays together. They designed the game plan together. This whole thing with a lot of people talking about Jeff Scott can't coach, whatever, man.
Daniel says, have y'all checked out the South Carolina prediction video Uncle Lou put out today? I did.
You did? What did he say?
He had South Carolina at 5-7. They had them one game different than I did. But he had the three non-conference wins, Vanderbilt, and then he had them upsetting Mizzou at home to finish 5-7, which I think they lose to Mizzou. I think they beat LSU and they beat Texas A&M. That's where I'm sticking with. But I'm with all the smoke that he's thrown this way, I don't know that there's not a little bit of extra incentive to beat Ole Miss. So, I mean, I don't know if South Carolina doesn't lose the game. I think South Carolina may lose the game to LSU. I still think they beat Texas A&M because it's later in the season, and they generally get a little bit better towards the end of the year. You know, they're usually a wet fart at the beginning, but hell, if they lose to LSU, that's putting them starting off at like 2-2 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, but with the I'm trying to see when that LSU game is. I know it's in October, right?
No, it's in September.
Yeah, I think it's the last game of September, but
you know when all the October games are we playing? You've been running your dick sucker about October all damn summer long.
Yeah, the October games are, what do you got? You got Texas A&M, Alabama.
See, now you don't even know who they are. It's Alabama, it's Oklahoma, and it is Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, all of them start with L for the Gamecocks. That's all that matters.
Shit.
Welcome, Rooster, to the program.
What's up, Rob? What's up, Jackpot?
What's going on?
Yeah, that was a pretty shitty attempt at a troll by old Whiffen today. Knowing that.
Well, I mean, it's just, I mean, this is like, I mean, his dad just died, man. I mean, and this is what we're worried about. I mean, I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, he like Juice Wells will probably be hurt by the time we play them. What's that, like week
You
5?
know, well, look, I think that my dumpster fire theory could come into effect here. Where we sit right now, I think it's tough to say, hey, they could go out and beat Ole Miss man on man right now. But Ole Miss has all these transfer guys that come in, and if they go off and they stumble a little bit at the beginning of the season, you may have a lot of motherfuckers that are like, I don't want to play anymore. You may have that happen, and South Carolina may end up getting them simply
Yeah.
based on Lane's coaching a bunch of quitters then.
Well, I
Well,
think
I mean,
everybody's
he's-
looked at the offensive talent they brought in, and then you hear the big names like Walter Nolan and the Princely kid from Florida that's on their
Mhm.
defense now. I mean, the hype's behind the names, but the reality is you still got to play the games. So
Yeah, and thing is, how I know he's gelled the transfer portal class before, but I mean, you're going out and bringing in a bunch of individuals. How do you know they're going to be able to play together as a unit?
yeah,
I mean, you don't. I mean, if it changes up year to year, because they don't recruit at a very high level. It's doesn't. I mean, what did he? I don't know what his recruiting class finished last year. I don't have it in front of me, but it wasn't top 10. Oh, I doubt it was even top 20.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
checking it out right now, but Jackpot's spitting some facts there because in his mind, Lane Kiffin says, you know what? I can just go and get other people's players. I can go and get a Juice Wells because that's what I'm doing here. I'm looking right now, the 2024 class, the class that just ended. I'm looking where, I mean, I'm already past. Oh, he's at 21. 21.
Aha, see, I was right. Ha, just barely, but I was right.
One slot ahead of the Gamecocks there.
well,
Gamecocks.
one thing I asked the other day, and Rob Jackpot, I'll get y'all's opinion on this. I brought up the subject of returning production because everyone, of course, the talking heads always bring up returning production. Now, how important is returning production now that
Right.
you have the transfer portal? Because, I mean, you go back to South Carolina's returning
I'm with you.
production, you're not going to see a lot. So you got to look at depth that you brought in through the transfer portal.
Well,
You look at
to
the running back
be
room.
fair, at certain positions, you could argue that, like, I mean, we'll use linebackers as a better a spot here. Bam Martin Scott, for some reason, couldn't make the damn field until what, game 5, 6, or 7 last year. Whoever was starting ahead of him, he's better than. So I don't know how they put that in the returning production category. There is it. How does that work? I don't know. But it's
Well,
interesting to me that at certain spots, I just think that South Carolina may have gotten better by people leaving.
Well, originally it was supposed to be Mo Kaba, but remember Mo Kaba got hurt again. That was 2 years in a row for Mo. So then they were using Stone Blanton and Pup Howard, 2 freshmen, that was coming in there along with Debo Williams. Bam Martin Scott didn't really start seeing a lot of action until they started changing up the defense and trying to run the 3-man fronts and stuff. But yeah, I mean,
when they changed from what were they running, like some 4-2-5 stuff, and then they went back to a 3-4 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they started bringing in Bam Martin Scott. You started seeing Thomas Jr. coming in, playing some edge. But we were damaged even on edge last year because we were having to use Tonka as an edge rusher. So then that affects your depth on your interior defensive line. Now you brought in guys. The linebacker room's completely different. Other than Debo Williams and Bam Martin, the rest of those guys are transfers. Besides the fresh kids. But
you could be better because of some of the guys that left. In theory, I'm not like I don't know, but I'm just saying there was decisions made where maybe coaches said, "Look, you're not an SEC player, or you're not a Gamecock. Get the hell out of here. We got people that we think can do the job better." And then those conversations have to happen. You know, if you're a head coach, and I know that we look at them as kids, but they're not kids; they're men. And they're coming in here and they're not up to par with where you want to be. you've got to figure some shit out and tell them, like, look, we're not going to have a scholarship for you next year. We're not.
No, and you saw the freshman linebackers transferred out.
Yeah.
I mean,
What Blanton I know transferred, and
he
then
went to Auburn.
too.
Pup ended up going to Florida because Florida thinks they have the crown jewel with him now.
Well, Pup Howard. I'll put this out there about Pup Howard. If he went to Florida, he likes to lose.
Well,
That's what it basically
he's
fucking boils down to.
he's
You
one of
go
their
to
starting
Florida,
linebackers.
and that guy is your head coach down there. Who the more and more I read about him, if you transfer into there, you enjoy losing, which makes you a loser. There you go. I said it. He could have been. Pup Howard would have stayed at South Carolina. He would have been a starting linebacker for a team that may have an opportunity to get into a bowl game and actually do something. Instead, you're going to go down there with old Dumbledore and try to be an SEC player down there. That's just stupid. Stupid.
Yeah. I want to ask Jackpot this too because I put a video out on the day. I was watching I think it was SEC Unfiltered, and it wasn't Chris. It was one of the other guys on there put out his little prediction on South Carolina yesterday. And he brought up Rocket Sanders. I think Billy Cole mentioned it in the comments. Should Rocket play against Old Dominion? And I tried to put out a video with a perspective from a coach that's trying to save him for the bigger games and the tougher games, but also try to do a perspective of the kid that's coming in and first games of Williams-Brice. He's going to want to be on the field.
Yeah, I think I think he I think if you get that game in hand early, you kind of sit him. But I mean, you got to factor him into the rotation. They've got some quality running backs now, or they should. So they should be able to rotate these guys in and out a little bit. So you kind of want to see that. We haven't been that for.
I'm with Jackpot on that. I think that Shane Beamer doesn't have a history of this though, because he should have been pulling Spencer Rattler last year and giving Seller some more snaps. What the hell did you guys have to gain by that? By running Rattler out there, especially the Clemson game.
I still say he should have they should have had a package for him in the Clemson game. At least to try to mix it up a little bit. Rattler wasn't able to do shit.
I would have had them I would have had him out there the first fucking series if I was a Gamecock coach. I would have had some shit out there where, I mean, any play that you drew up on a napkin that we don't have film on in that game, that's what I would throw out there. Okay. And if I'm coaching against them, that's the mentality I'm going to have there too. We're going to have a base defense here because we're not going to try to give up plays over the top, etc. But why Beamer didn't do that, I just don't know. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Will Super Chat here. Please keep forward your thoughts and prayers are currently hanging on to the 57th ranked recruiting class.
Damn.
There you go.
Well, no one's going to commit to Florida not knowing if Billy Napier is going to be fired before the end of the season.
I don't know. Pup Howard decided to go there.
Yeah, but Pup's from Jacksonville. That's a little bit of a different story. His parents can drive an hour across the state to get there and watch him play football.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that is the trend, though, because the other day I forgot who I was watching, brought that up. Transfers tend to go back closer to home in most cases. Percentage-wise.
Do you think that's like that's indicative of like a soft type culture that we're living in nowadays? I'm gonna transfer up. Let me get back home closer to mama.
Yeah, and I think some of the subject was brought up too about, with this lawsuit, the settlement or whatever that all the teams are going to have to pay out, and it's $15 to $20 million. Are these NIL collectives going to stop buying houses for parents to move closer to the kids? And so I think that's part of it too, where the money's coming from.
I'm going to put this out there. Nobody wants to hear this shit. Everyone made fun of Dabo Sweeney when he said this is going to go south. And now that it has gone south, you motherfuckers need to moonwalk back and say, you know what? Maybe Sweeney knew what the hell he was talking about. Just saying, go back and look at what he said, and everything he said has pretty much come to fruition. Now he's talking about guys are going to opt out of games after teams start 4-4 or whatever. We're going to have guys opting out of playoff games. He said that the other day. And that fucker Feinbaum told him, you just need to shut your mouth and collect your money. You know what? You, sir, need to go back to the trailer parks with those Alabama and Auburn folks.
Well, I'm not gonna blow smoke up Dabo's ass either.
I'm not blowing smoke up his ass. I'm just saying everything that he has said has come fucking true. Nobody wants to deal with the fact that, hey, I recruited these kids and now they're fucking gone and they can just go and it doesn't matter. The fact that if Florida decides, hey, we want your linebacker, we could go there and tell them your mom lives close to here and we'll give you some more money. Yeah, and that's going to happen. And a guy that you banked on is not going to be there. What do you have to do? Now you have to go to fucking San Jose State, not San Jose, San Jose State, and get you a damn linebacker out of the damn there.
But eventually he's gonna have to eventually use the transfer portal to fill out his roster, like you were saying today. But like you were saying today, he's losing players to the portal, but he's not bringing anybody in.
He is. He has, but he told you this was going to happen. Now I'm saying he's backwards where he's at now. But when everybody was talking about, oh, this is going to be the greatest thing ever, he was right on a lot of that, on an absolute lot of that. So,
well, with the new deal now, where there's no limit on your damn recruiting class, and you're going to get 105 scholarship players, and do away with walk-ons. I mean, it's continuously going to change, and the coaches that keep up will be successful, and the coaches that can't keep up, they're going to be fired. I mean, they're changing the rules to make teams like Oregon that have unlimited funds better.
Well, not even the issue of players, Timmy. You can have so many coaches now.
Well, I do think I want to ask Jackpot about that. What he thinks.
And saying Dabo plays a spoon flute and Dabo wasn't right about shit. You obviously were educated in one of the schools in the corridor of shame, where shit was flowing through the classroom, and you couldn't get regular thoughts to come through your head. Because anybody that likes college football the way that it was when we were growing up, if you think the game is better now than it was then, you're fucking stupid.
No, because you actually had players that were dedicated to a football team. You had to think about your commitment before you made it.
You were told as a man, hey, you made a decision as a man at 18 years old that, hey, I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to be committed to XY school. And I'm going to make a promise to be there. What you have now is a bunch of baby back bitches that are like, oh, this coach grabbed my face mask and it pulled the string on my tampon, and now my feelings are hurt. So I'm going to transfer so I can be close to my mom so she can wipe my ass before I go to practice.
They're only doing it because they're allowed to.
Yeah.
Well, there should be the way to fix that is you give some and you lose some. What I mean by that is you make the scholarships where they're at least 2 years. We're going to give you a 2-year scholarship because in reality, most scholarships are set up for 1 year. So if you don't perform, you have to go somewhere else. Make it where the scholarships are guaranteed 2 years, but the young man that comes in has to play there for 2 years. You sign a contract, and that's the way that it works. You could fix all of this. But we're just going to let a bunch of uncles that don't know anything. Oh, you get your respect there, son. You are all conference as a linebacker at this 3-star school. You should be dominating the SEC. When in reality, you're not really that good. You should be playing for.
You made the all-county team at Richland Northeast. So
yeah,
you should be starting for Alabama.
Yeah. All right, what else you got there, Rooster?
That's it, buddy. Appreciate you guys letting me on, and I will go watch the rest of the show.
Appreciate you, buddy. Daniel, what's up?
What's up, guys? I want y'all to explain something to me. Now, I can't figure this out. For some reason, and I understand that LSU had a Heisman winner last year. I get it. Why in the hell are they getting so much hype? explain to me how their offense is going to be better. Well, you can't because it's not. There's no possible way it's going to be better. And their defense was absolutely fucking horrendous. I mean, even if they improve, it's not going to make up for the loss of the offense that they had. So how in the fuck are they in anybody or any chance of winning anything in the SEC? It blows my fucking mind.
Whose team are we talking about?
He's talking about LSU, sir. He says, why is LSU looked upon and given so much hype?
Well, that quarterback has had some quality minutes. I mean,
Right.
Yes.
I mean, he can swing the ball. I mean, make no mistake about it. I mean, he's not as mobile as the kid that was there last year, the Daniels that won the Heisman Trophy. He's not that.
Right.
But I mean, they're kind of like a wide receiver factory. So it's kind of like with Tennessee when Jalen Hyatt went to the NFL and Cedric Tillman left. I mean, we're like, who's going to catch the ball for them? And y'all found some wide receivers.
Well, yeah, but that's true. But
it did drop in production a little bit,
right.
too. But you also had a deadbeat quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately.
Well, they finished 7th in recruiting. Their recruiting classes consistently finish in the top 10, so they've got talent back there. And Coach Kelly can coach. The man can actually coach. Maybe that's part of it too.
Could
And
be.
he's won everywhere he went. I mean, he hasn't had very many shit teams wherever he's been. You know?
That's true. I could see, honestly, South Carolina. I kind of agree with the 6-6, 5-7 with them, but I could 100% seeing them upsetting LSU. 100%. If there's a team on their schedule South Carolina is going to upset, it'll be LSU because they're not that good.
What makes you think they're not that good though? I mean, besides the fact that just because they lost the Heisman candidate at quarterback, or
they lost him. They lost Malik.
He's wasn't a candidate. He in fact didn't win it.
Won it. Right, he won it.
Sure.
They lost Neighbors. They lost the Thomas kid. I think that was his last name. Cannot remember for sure. That's three your top offensive production right there. All three gone. Nussmeier may be good. He may even be better than good, but he's not going to be Jaden Daniels. It's not going to happen. And they're not going to have two receivers. I can guarantee you right now. You can put this on the bookcase of accountability or whatever. I don't give me two receivers on their roster. They will not come within 300 yards of Neighbors or the other kid next year. Won't happen.
That's not really fair. That's like saying, somebody can go and put up Shaq's numbers.
That's exactly my point.
They might do it though because Nussmeier is going to put the ball in the air more than Jaden Daniels.
Right. Agree with that.
He can't run around. He's not mobile. So
I think apparently Baker. They think that Baker, the new defensive coordinator, the former coordinator at Mizzou, they think that he's going to rebound that defense there. But
he probably will, though. I mean, because they have talent over there. They just lack the coaching, I guess. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, they'll have a better defense. I mean, they can't get worse than they were last year. That was pitiful. But like I said, I see them having a down year. Probably Kelly's. I'd say this. I have a feeling this will be his worst year at LSU so far, which he's only had two. So
you put South Carolina's offensive line from last year in a padded room with LSU's defense from last year and tell them to fight their way out and then shut the door and lock it. And 30 minutes later, I guarantee you, open that room up, they'll all be standing around scratching their nuts.
Scratching each other's nuts. They move on from scratching their nuts to scratching nuts of the other team. That's where they would be. So, good point, sir. Good point. Daniel, I don't know about the hype there. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that of the recruiting that they have, and Kelly wins. Look, nobody expected Kelly to just come in and be as dominant as he was. I mean, remember the adage, he's coming down to the South, he can't coach. First year in the conference, goes to the SEC championship game. Second year in the conference, wins 10 games. So he's had 10 win seasons 2 years in a row. I mean, that's pretty good unless you want to go on and say, the SEC sucks. You want to go down that road. He won.
No, I don't. It's not.
his first 2 seasons. The man can coach.
I agree he can coach. I will say this, and I mean it's if ifs and fifths, but if there was no SEC East and West in 22, then he wouldn't have been in the SEC championship. But that's neither here nor there. So
Okay, sir. That's like, why don't Okay. I mean, we can just ponder up anything. If South Carolina, if they would have said if you win 3 conference games, you can go to the SEC championship game, the Gamecocks would have went a couple of years. Come on now, you're being silly, sir.
I'm just telling you, they've not been great since. I mean, with all the talent, the individual talent they have as a team, they've not been that good. They just haven't.
They've won 10 games in a row in 2 seasons with him there. 10-win seasons don't mean anything.
You literally had a Heisman winner and 2 of the best receivers in football, and you still did nothing of value last year.
He won 10 games, man. Why can't it be, hey, we had a 10-win season? That's pretty damn good.
Well, they went out there and got blown out by FSU. That was kind of embarrassing.
I get that, but jackpot, look at it from this perspective. If Shane Beamer came in and won 10 games in his first 2 seasons there, they would rename Columbia Beamer.
Well, he's won 10 games in his first 2 seasons, so I guess they better
10 games each season, sir. You know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying sometimes a 10-win season is a pretty big fucking indicator of, hey, the guy can coach. So we'll see. Anything else, sir?
That's it, guys. Have a good show.
All right. Let's go to our next caller here. Big Barney Ross.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good.
Big Barney Ross, if Stoops came in his first 2 seasons and won 10 games a year, would they get double fuel points at Kroger Field, and would you have more than 20,000 show up?
I don't know about that, but bourbon sales and Ford's furniture on couches would double. But I'm going to take South Carolina. I'm going to use Billy Cole theory here. Would you put 1,000 on it? I probably will, to beat Ole Miss, and I'll tell you why. Kentucky travels down to Ole Miss the week before. Lane Brain has always had a way of beating Kentucky in the last little bit by just a little bit. And he always gets on and says, at the press conference, well, they are Kentucky for a reason. But that's going to be a physical game. And Stoops remembers that. And it's going to be a physical. So then they got to turn around and travel down to South Carolina the following week. That may be a bridge too far for Ole Miss. But on the backside of that, LSU. The schedule's going to help LSU this year. If they could get past Kentucky and South Carolina, I think it's a bridge too far. I don't see Ole Miss sweeping that. I just don't. And I think South Carolina's sandwiched right in there at the right place where they're going to get beat up by Kentucky and, pull out a victory and then have to go in there to the sandstorm. And I think it's going to blind them. But I'll get off here and listen to what Jackpot has to say about that. But before I go, big shout out to Biden for opting out of the bowl game, because bowl games don't matter. Y'all think about it. I'm out of
here. Big Barney Ross joining the program.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that. You gotta look at a game and take into account where it is on the schedule when you're doing predictions. So that's.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other end with Octavian, welcome to the program.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, y'all?
Hello, sir.
It's pretty good, man. Pretty good to be a Gator, man. Pretty good day to be a Gator, man.
Sure it is, Octavian.
It's pretty good to be a Gator. And I just want to say, I gotta say, I want to know if you could put this guy named Chris on. I don't know if y'all see the chat up there. If dude Chris want to come on this show and debate me and tell me how good South Carolina really is, you can put him on. Maybe he'll do something better than Carolina.
Chris is not here, so I don't know. I mean, if you want a date or something, I'm sure you can ask him. You may.
No, we're not. No. Sir,
You're the
South
only person
Carolina-
ever that's come on the show. Hey, bring that other guy on here for me to talk to.
Sir,
You're the first one, Octavian. Good for you, sir. Good for
sir,
you. What?
I just want to say this, and I want to say this. I want to say this as nice as I know how. South Carolina is sorry as hell to me, and I'm just gonna say it just like that.
Awesome. Cool.
Yet you needed a miracle to beat them last year.
No, sir. Y'all defense is horrendous. That's why we
Oh,
did
I don't have an argument there, but still.
that was just pitiful. We gave y'all the game, and y'all could have beat us by 10 points, and y'all lost. Don't know how.
What was your record last season? Was 5-7. I'm going to tell you, you had 2 games that were gifts. Tennessee was better than you are, but for some reason you have a hoax on them.
Sir.
Let me finish, sir.
Rooster says, Octavian, did you
Tennessee game.
finish polishing the Bobby Bowden statue today?
That's a
That
good point.
he called you a shoe shine.
That's exactly. Get your fucking shine box. That's what he's telling you. Anyway, but look, you should have lost that game. You should have lost the South Carolina game. You should have been freaking 3-9. Do you want me to bring Christopher on with him, sir?
Yes, bring Christopher.
Why not?
Let's bring
All right. Christopher, welcome to the program.
Oh yeah, you know he had to go there. Mr. 17. It's Mr. 17-0. I'm going 17-0, y'all.
The people on YouTube, this is what a typical Gamecock fan looks like right here. He got look at him.
I think you said it right the first time.
Hey,
you said it right the first
You're out
time.
of line.
Hey, Hey, Gamecocks, we're going 17-0,
Look, I'm not
y'all.
gonna let you-
I swear.
I'm not gonna
Hey,
let you
I
knock.
swear to God, we're going
I'm not gonna
17-0.
let you knock the man's appearance when you don't turn your damn camera on, sir.
Sir.
Well, I mean, you won't even turn your camera on. You're going to mock the man's appearance.
He won't. He's talking shit.
You can't see your picture, sir. You could have Googled that picture and popped that up there.
No, we didn't talk that. That's a
When
real
you
David.
were
That's a
doing
real
a Google
David
search, you just said, look for young man wearing Florida hoodie, and you just took that picture and made it your profile picture. I think
that's actually there, sir.
You turn on Octavian's camera, you're gonna see 2 butt cheeks flapping like this because he always talks about
Hey, I'm going 17-0, y'all. 17-0.
Shane says Octavian's a Florida fan. I guess he must be a Riley Cooper fan as well.
Thank
You
you
like
for the super chat.
Riley Cooper. Hey, let me tell you something. Riley Cooper single-handedly beat South Carolina one year. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's great. That was great.
The team's been shit since Tebow left. Put that in your mind.
South Carolina has never been relevant in football ever.
How many people want to bet?
And you
Napier
come on,
will
How
be.
many series did y'all lose to Clemson in a row?
You're not even fucking playing them this year, and you want to run your mouth about them.
I hate them.
Well, that's fine, but you don't have to play them anymore.
Now we played them in 2 years, and we're gonna beat them again.
For the next 2 years, you don't even have to
You don't
face
even know
us.
who your coach is gonna be.
We're not even playing y'all for the next 2 years. You can relax. You can find somebody else, like UAB or somebody like that.
Who do you want to see coaching the Gators when Billy Napier gets fired?
Dan Lanner or Lane Kiffin?
Who
Like,
or Lane?
Dan Lanner or Lane Kiffin? That's the 2 that we're going for.
Dan Lanning.
That ain't gonna happen.
Florida.
But
why would one of those coaches
by game 4? Who's your new coach?
Why would they do that?
Why would they do that? Because it's the SEC, man. It just means more.
Lane Kiffin's already in the SEC, sir.
Lane Kiffin might be the kind of piece of trash to come there,
him,
but I don't think Lane or the other dude, Dan Lanning, not with the Georgia ties.
Yeah, Dan Lanner will definitely be coming to Gainesville next year.
Cool.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would leave Oregon with all that. Well, I mean, Oregon's about one of the best jobs in the country. I don't know why you would leave there to be.
How's he going to come there?
Big swinging ding-a-ling to come to the SEC. I don't.
He's gonna be the next big thing.
What do you? Oh my God! I think he's just
He
trolling.
might as well
us,
go
man.
ahead and get. They might as well go ahead and get Jimbo Fisher.
You,
Go ahead and bring
y'all
him
might as
back.
well get Jimbo Fisher. That'd be a great place for Jimbo to be at. South Carolina, Jimbo Fisher. That'd be a perfect match in heaven. Y'all can win eight. Y'all can finally win 8 games repeatedly in a row.
The Gamecocks go after old coaches. I mean,
No, if Billy
That's
Napier gets fired, he'll probably be the next one in line for the South Carolina job.
it's Les
Yeah.
Miles.
Fire
Les Miles.
the ex-Florida coaches.
Y'all gonna go with Les Miles, and it's gonna be we brought in a championship coach.
We found a championship coach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Octavian.
listen.
I mean, we like hiring old coaches now too. But I mean, I'm surprised that Tanner didn't hire Mac Brown for the job when he was available a few years ago.
They'll do PR and they'll talk about all the championship coaches there. It'll be Ray Tanner standing there with his 2 national titles, Dawn Staley standing with hers, and then they'll have Les Miles there and they'll Photoshop a damn LSU's national title there, and they'll all just be standing there looking like dickheads. That's what's gonna happen in South Carolina.
We're gonna be good this. Hey, we're gonna be good this year, guys.
Listen here.
They'll find some old football coach who's won some titles somewhere and see if they can bring him in and dust him off. I don't know who it would be. Tom Osborne, is he still alive? Maybe
Bobby Stoops.
Barry Switzer. Maybe they find him
keep
somewhere.
Keep in mind, Bobby Stoops.
Who's
Bobby
the
Stoops.
who was the coach of the Cowboys? That
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson. There you go.
He's still alive.
Miami State. Yeah, he's still alive. Go ahead and bring him down. Why not?
Hey,
Octavian.
Rob, needs a job. Jackpot. Phil Fulmer needs a job. Why not hire him?
There you go.
Yeah.
Octavian, why haven't we saw your face yet?
I have a question for Rob here. I have a real question for Rob. When y'all beat Clemson, when y'all beat Georgia, I mean, when you beat Georgia this year, what are you going to do?
We don't play Georgia.
What
are you talking about?
I think he's asking me about if Clemson beats Georgia.
Okay.
Well, look, Clemson is. I don't think they're going to beat Georgia because I'm not sold on what we have on offense yet.
Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, you're asking me. I just told you.
But
you let me answer. It's going to continue to spew.
Sir, Clemson's going to beat Georgia by 3 points. I'm just going to let you know. South Carolina's going to lose.
If you're picking them to win by 3, we're losing by 30. I don't want you picking them that early in the season. And you may fuck us for the rest of the season.
My upset pick of the year, Old Dominion over South Carolina. And I'm going to keep saying this on this show.
Oh, God. Did you add that to the book? Please add that to the book.
Oh, yeah. I got that to the bookcase of accountability.
It's got to be added.
That's got to be.
You and I have a bet on that, right? We do have a bet. I bet the $25 on that.
$25, yeah, it's $25. That's right.
I've got South Carolina straight up. I just don't think Old Dominion can do it. Now, if they do it, I'll be happy to send you your money.
And then,
no
problem. I'm going
Octavian.
No lose.
Betting your phone bill like that.
I'll lose it. If I lose $25, I just get to laugh at South Carolina for the rest of the season. But if I win, then hey.
Then
I'll send when I win those $25, I'm gonna make sure I go eat me a South Carolina breakfast, a good Hardee's biscuits and gravy, or a good sausage and biscuit sandwich from Hardee's.
Sausage and biscuit sandwich
from Hardee's. He's gonna take the money and go to.
He just made up a meal.
You better.
Oh, he's
making up biscuit. They put it in the sandwich.
No. I already told you. What Big Money Ross says, Clemson's cursed now. I don't want you picking us.
Talk about Big Money Ross in Kentucky. They're gonna need all the bourbon in the world when we beat the daylights out of them this year in the swamp. After they put us, they did this last year. We're gonna beat the dog snap out of Kentucky.
I'm about to say, didn't Kentucky beat Florida last year? I believe that.
They did.
That happened, didn't it?
Pretty much everybody in South Carolina. I mean, let's just be honest.
Let's be real. We better than all those teams there, sir.
You see. Here's the thing, and I've asked you this, and I've tried to be serious. You can never tell me why, other than we're the goddamn Florida Gators. Okay, but why? Why should we sit here and listen to this nonsense that you're better than Georgia, and you're gonna beat them, and you're gonna beat Kentucky, and all that
But
shit?
they all sorry to me.
Kentucky's kind of owned
Their
Florida
losses is
lately.
horrible.
He's drinking that
Well,
Kool-Aid.
I'm looking up right now, so
I'm
Kentucky's
still
kind
on
of
the
beat
fact
them
that
up
I'm
lately.
still on the fact that you say
Wait,
Missouri is
you
better
haven't,
than
you
us.
haven't beat Kentucky. You haven't beat Kentucky since the COVID year, man. There are 4-year-olds that have never seen a Florida win over Kentucky.
That's
I've
true.
seen a bunch of them.
Kentucky's won 4 out of the last 6 games against you, including 3 straight. You're not even
What's
on
that?
Kentucky's radar anymore, man.
Well,
What's that
sir, we
defensive
beat Kentucky
lineman?
for
What's
31
that
years.
guy's
So
last
they
year?
got a
Ray
lot of credit.
Davis ran in a raw.
Oh yeah, Ray Davis. And then
For
what's
4
that
quarters
defensive
of it.
lineman that played for Kentucky that I hated so much?
The one that's still playing this year, the one that's going to be a first-round draft pick.
Oh yeah, he's
Barney
gonna be a first
Walker.
round draft pick.
Walker,
He's gonna run
yes.
all over Florida.
Yeah. So I
Sir,
don't know what you're talking about, man.
and I'm still upset at the fact that you said Missouri is better than Florida. How in
Yes,
They are.
how in the absolute hell
They
you
are.
can say they're not? They're not.
Who?
Missouri is sorry as hell.
Everybody's sorry as hell to you.
So since Missouri joined the conference in 2012, they are
Not
1, 2.
only, Florida's a warm-up game for Mizzou.
That's
really like South Carolina Old
We have
Dominion.
Missouri beat, sir. We have Missouri beat.
But you lost. You lost.
Just like South Carolina.
Dennis, friend of the program, says if Old Dominion wins, he wants to teabag Kale.
Well, I might need to help Old Dominion then.
God damn it. Don't you threaten him with a good time there, Dennis. Don't do it.
Nothing like gooch dancing on your face.
Oh my goodness. Sir, listen, is that Sir GA? Listen here, all you Georgia fans, when we beat y'all November the 2nd,
I know he's not.
Octavian,
I know he's not roasting Georgia.
Come on the program. We've already let you say, hey, bring this other guy in here so I can talk to him. We're not going to let. If you want to respond to the people in the chat, get the fuck off of here and go get in the chat room, sir. That's what the chat is for.
Georgia is listen. When we beat Georgia, I'm gonna jump in a pond full of gators when we win.
Please do.
What?
I need to see that.
He said if they beat Georgia, he's gonna jump into a pond full of gators.
He's roasting Georgia now. Good God.
Hey,
It's 17-0, buddy.
Hold on.
17-0.
Octavian, will you promise me this, sir? If you decide to do that, will you let our channel be the exclusive provider to the world for that?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. I know that you want another loser mention, and you want Uncle Lou to welcome you in as like his next son, and I whatever. Okay. But you're on the record now. If you decide to jump into the pond with all the alligators, we get to stream it live here on the Carolina Jackpot channel.
That would be.
But nobody told you to do it. You did it on your own.
Yeah, you did it on your own. You just happened to be there because you're like, hey, I'm gonna do a swimming contest.
Nobody suggested it.
No, I don't want you to do that
at all. I'm just saying, if you decide to do it, I mean, I'm not going to throw you in the pond, but I damn sure will watch you jump.
We're going to jump in there and listen when Georgia wins, when Georgia loses.
You know what?
Please allow your video to work. We need to see the video. We don't want to hear you talking. We need to see the video.
We need to get Dennis Wilson to take you snipe hunting, man. He'd probably love that.
Listen, when we beat Tennessee, I'm going to tear down Tennessee's goalpost and take it back home.
Well, you can do that. That's fine.
Are you playing at Tennessee? You think you're going to go up there with those fucking hillbillies? and steal their goddamn goalposts and take it back home?
Yes.
You're out of your mind, dude. You're
I'm gonna
out of
take that goalpost home.
He's on the rocks. He's on the rocks.
Oh, that's not happening.
Matthew says, "Am I a Wawa fan?" Yes, definitely
Wawa,
better than Sheets.
Wawa is the best fast food place in America.
All right, do you two?
Straight from the swamp.
I don't even know. I don't even know where to go from here. You kind of screwed the program up here.
Yeah, it is.
Todd says he's gonna dive into the river to get the one they threw in there. Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna go resurrect the goalpost that they, that from the Alabama game? Maybe that's
No,
what's gonna happen.
I'm gonna tell.
Decades
When
ago.
we win, I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna jump over the jump on the field and tear down their goalposts. I'm gonna be there in Knoxville this year. I already bought the tickets.
I need you to get on video when you say that.
Well, what's gonna happen? Let me tell you what's gonna happen to you. Okay, you're gonna jump on the field. You may get onto the field. I'll give you that. You're gonna take about 4 steps, and this is if you win the game up there, and then you're gonna have about 8 of Mayor Kane's deputies are going to beat the shit out of you on that field and take you to the sodomite wing of that damn Knox County jail, and you will not get out. It'll be the last Octavian call. That's what's going to happen to you, sir.
No, I'm gonna. Yeah,
Your
I'm gonna
house
see the
will
front
look
page
like you
news.
had a
Gators beat
damn
Tennessee
road
with a
cone
Gator
stuck
fan on
by the
top of
time
the
you get out of
goalpost.
there.
And
Those
Adrian
hillbillies.
gets a new contract.
Oh, it's going to be crazy. Don't do that to yourself, man.
I'm gonna jump on the field and tear down their goalposts.
All right, Octavian.
All right,
Anything
y'all.
else?
Go Gators! Beat South Carolina, fuck Georgia, and fuck Tennessee.
Thank you,
go.
Octavian. All right,
All right.
Christopher, appreciate it, man. Have a good night, buddy.
Talk to y'all later.
Let's
See
welcome
ya.
Brandon to the show. Brandon, what's up, buddy?
Jesus Christ. This kid's a second coming of radio. You know, I get spewing hot takes, but everything that comes out of his mouth is teetotal bullshit, and I really think he believes it. Like I think he sits at home, watches anime, and eats paint chips. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Missouri doesn't suck.
Jesus Christ, 8 anime or 8 paint chips.
I said he sits at home watching anime and eating paint chips.
And then you said, like, Jesus Christ. I didn't know
said, yeah,
Jesus
like,
did
Jesus
that.
Christ, what's this kid's problem? Listen, I hate Missouri just as much as the next person. Missouri's got a good football team. Florida's not beating. Florida's lucky to win 5 games this year. Sunbelt Billy will be lucky to make it halfway through the season. And if you think for one second that you're going to come into Knoxville and tear down their goalposts, you're going to have 102,000 Hill Jacks on your ass, son. Yeah.
That's what I just told him.
Well,
Mayor
they're probably
Kane's
not even
gonna
going to
send those
win.
guys out.
So.
That's what I'm saying. Mayor Kane's going to send those guys out and put him in the sodomite wing of Knox County Jail. That's what's going to happen.
They bend them over and stick a corn dog in them. That's what's going to happen. But, Jackpot, I wanted to ask you, did you see Uncle Lou's video today about y'all's schedule prediction?
I did. I fell asleep when not that it was boring. I fell asleep because I was tired.
I was going to ask you what you thought about it.
I mean, I saw the beginning of it and I saw the end, but I didn't really see the middle. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again.
So everybody knows that Carolina could lose 8 games a year and just show up and beat somebody they have no business beating. And for Uncle Lou, that was Missouri. Do you think that y'all really have a shot at upsetting Missouri and Columbia after they're coming off a week of hosting Oklahoma?
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yes and no. I mean, it depends. I mean, it depends on how their season's going. I mean, there's a lot of factors there. I don't know. We all. It's like you look at these games, you're predicting them based on. That's the thing. You base it on everybody's healthy and available to play. When the games come around, you don't know. Brady Cook might be walking around in a sling. And,
that's true.
Same thing for us. Lenore Sellers might be in a boot, and we might be, on our last leg. So, the way it says now, no, I don't think so. Not the way they played against them last year. They look like homemade shit. But, I don't expect to look like that this year either. I expect that defense to be a hell of a lot better. So.
Well,
At home, I say we got a shot. I mean, they've beaten South Carolina, what, 5-6 years in a row?
5 in a row.
I mean, that's one of the games they have circled, but, they need to have them all circled, honestly. But
So Missouri, South Carolina has not beaten Missouri at home since 2018. But the other thing
Vic,
that's
Vic
interesting
says
about
Missouri owns South Carolina. That's true of late in the series. That's true. But early in the series, South Carolina owned them.
Yep,
We
that's true.
slapped them around a little bit.
Well, they won. South Carolina won they won 5 out of the first 7 when they joined the conference, but then it's been all Mizzou ever since.
I know they lost a lot of talent and they lost their defensive coordinator. So,
Well, the one guy that really hurt South Carolina last year was Schrader. They kept giving the ball to that little micro machine running back, and he just kept running the fuck over them.
dude,
And they couldn't do anything about it. So
we had one of the best defensive fronts in the SEC last year, and he did the same thing, dude. He was running like he was Bo Jackson. It really pissed me off to where I wanted to literally throw my remote to the TV.
He was a Division III player who came out of nowhere as a walk-on. He was basically Rudy with talent.
Yeah, I mean,
and he wasn't offsides.
give him
that too.
Of course, and of course you got to give him the Burlsworth Trophy. But I mean, my question isn't, necessarily Missouri's offense. I think they're going to have a good offense again, but I really think their defense takes a step back this year. I mean, that's just one of those. Missouri hasn't been good long enough to plug and play with coordinators, and I just think that they're not like a Georgia or an Alabama where you can just swap them out. So I really think they're going to struggle on defense this year. That's just me.
Defensively, they've got some guys coming back. Toriano Pride transferred in from Clemson, and he's going to be a good player in the secondary for them. But I don't know what this new defensive coordinator is going to do. Their schedule is shit.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Their schedule pisses me off.
Their schedule is absolute shit. So you can have some time to tweak some stuff there when you go to UMass and you welcome in Boston College at home.
Who schedules UMass for a home game? I mean, I'm sorry, that's on the road. Who schedules UMass on the road? Like, I don't know. Their schedule's dog shit. I mean, and if they don't,
South Carolina's played at East Carolina. I mean, that's bad enough. But
East Carolina's had some pulse, for a few years. Nothing too big, but they've had a pulse.
I can kind of get that, but the whole thing that bugs me with that is I can't wait till we get to a point where athletic directors can step out of the, hey, I'm going to schedule X, Y, and Z. Because a lot of times you end up with, and this is in basketball too, why the fuck is Frank Martin taking his team to damn Wyoming to play?
Yeah, I don't get that
at all. Benefit from that at all. I'm not saying you shouldn't play tough non-con opponents, but play non-cons in your region. You know what I'm saying? That makes more sense.
I mean, why don't we see some Missouri versus Indiana or Purdue?
Or Missouri versus Kansas. Let's try that. Since, they're the state next door, let's try that.
Well, they did play Kansas State last year.
And by all means, they should have lost that game, but who knew that 350-pound kicker could kick the ball 70 yards. I mean, god damn.
He laid off little Debbie's. He's only 325.
I thought he was 365, and he booted that shit stiff. We don't argue with hardware here.
That's another thing with them. He's gone too. So
Harrison Nevis, I think was his name.
Yeah, they haven't had anybody but him for a few years. So
no more Harrison Nevis. Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed it. I really just got on here to talk about Octavian. He needs to really quit huffing paint. I mean, I'm gonna have it out for him this year. I mean, he's not very bright.
Well, about the time that Kentucky fans leave to go talk about Midnight Madness and all of that, that's about the time that Octavian will leave, or he'll be on just talking about our coach sucks and we need to fire everybody.
He gets on Uncle Lou's show and does the same thing, and honestly, I think he has a hard on for Uncle Lou. But
well, I think Uncle Lou lets him talk to us. Uncle Lou can play Minesweeper. or whatever. Play some PlayStation in the background. Just let him talk for a little bit. I think that's why he lets him go on as much as he does. But
Put his helmet on and let him go play with his marbles. I mean, Jesus. But
Brandon, damn it.
anyway, y'all have a good night, fellas. I enjoyed it.
Appreciate it, buddy. Shout out to Dennis saying, can you imagine how excited he'd be in Buc-ee's? Yes. Yes, he would be buying those whatever the hell those nuggets they have up there. He'd be going crazy.
Beaver nuggets.
Beaver nuggets. There you go. Welcome to the program, Billy.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Good, sir. What you got?
Well, I'm fixing to do something I've never done in my life.
Oh, you better.
And
I'm
I-
not going to get in
and
trouble
I-
with Mr.
and
Billy
you-
here.
you-
We did not
you
tell you
need
to do
to-
this, sir. Do not do it. Don't do it.
You need to make
He's
some
not
room
going to
on the
reverse the
shelf of
batteries in his
accountability.
jitterbug, is he?
You need to make some room on the shelf of accountability.
Okay, what do you got?
Tennessee will beat Florida by 14 points easily this year.
Okay.
And you might say, well, why? Why is because they now have depth. Even in the backfield at defense, they have depth. They got rid of some bad players and got some new players and transfer portal. But never mind. They will beat Florida by 14 points.
Why couldn't
Mark
you
it.
just do what Octavian said and just says we're Tennessee? We don't you know who we are? Or how about this? How about Florida just sucks? And you
Well,
should beat them by 14.
Until you, and the thing about it is I would put $1,000 on that. But I'm telling you right now, this will be their fourth year in a row. Florida's had a losing season and no bowl game. You can mark that down too.
Look, I'm kind of buying what you're selling here. You ain't got to
They've
go
been going to bowl. They went to bowl games. They didn't go last year, but
the year before, but you're not having to play in Gainesville, so I could definitely see that.
I don't not. He
I
must
would-
just come
I would-
on here to hear himself talk.
I would bet Florida, and if you're in Gainesville, I'd bet Florida until you guys actually did it.
Well, that's true, and that like I've always said for the
Like a hoax, man.
past
It's
20
crazy.
years, Tennessee players just hear the word Florida and they piss all over themselves. I don't know why, but
Of course they do.
this will be different. This will be different, and they have depth at all the positions and gaining depth every day.
Is it quality depth?
Yep. Look at their quarterback room. That will just amaze you. You was talking about the other day. Go look at their quarterback room and look who's coming. They got 4 stars and 5 stars committing to come play under Heupel's offense. And you can say what you want about it, but when you've got like the number 1 offense in the NCAA, okay. So, but I think they're 9th or 10th in recruiting right now for 2025, for whatever that's worth until they sign. However, if you go back the past 3 or 4 years, Heupel's recruited well, and he's got depth now. And he's got depth because when you can run 8 or 9 defensive backs off that aren't playing up to par, when you can run those guys off, and some of them left on their own because it's seen the writing on the wall. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
What was the writing on the wall?
That he's bringing good players in, just like the number 1 quarterback, I think. Well, number 1, number 2 quarterback in the whole nation right here out of Cleveland, Tennessee, Boo Carter. This kid will start this year. It's not for he's here. He will start.
I thought he was a running back. What am I
No,
missing?
he was he played everything, but he's primarily a defensive player. He's going to be playing defense. He'll probably
What
be
about the kid South Carolina recruited too that ended up at Tennessee? I was making fun of him last year. I can't remember. I think he was a running back too. He was from the I call it the granola belt region of Virginia. Is he still there?
I don't know. I don't know who he is, but they've
from
got Dylan
Salem,
Sampson
Virginia
coming
area.
back.
Gamecock Chuck says Staley. Thank you, Gamecock Chuck.
Staley. There you go. I think he's a backup.
Hey, was the writing on the wall that Jackpot talked about? Was it, I have to get rid of you motherfuckers or I'm going to get fired because y'all were shitty? That may have been the writing on the wall.
Heupel is not getting fired. You know, after what we've went through for the last 20 years, she's not getting fired.
Go away.
Huh?
The defensive backs coach or defensive coordinator could be told, hey, what the hell with the secondary?
We start losing because of defense and stuff, which that's been a nemesis for us. But like I said, he's did well in the transfer portal past couple of years. He did real good this past year, and I'm sure. But we're going to be like everybody else. You're not keeping everybody that says they're coming there. That's the sad part of all this deal is until they sign, and we all know this, they're not there. And I've been on the record, they can do away with NIL and the transfer portal. It has killed college football as we know it. Yep. And y'all talked earlier about, you say kids know these are men. You're a man when you start negotiating between two schools how many $1 million you want.
Yeah, you're a man. You're 40.
I'm 69, buddy. But anyway, I just wanted to go on the record. I've never done this, but I feel emboldened enough to see what I've read and heard here in the East Tennessee Mountains. And oh, by the way, Octavian, please don't come to Tennessee running your mouth at Neyland Stadium. I still want to hear you for years to come. Do not come to Neyland Stadium running your mouth.
Oh, it'd be funny. I don't know what you're talking about. It'd be awesome.
Oh, him going to go on the field and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God. I don't do that.
Two things tonight that I hope do not happen. Let's make sure we put it out there.
Real quick.
Rooster.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Rooster says we got in too late on the Staley recruitment. Yeah. I think Rob's buddy Justin Stepp kind of botched that one up a little bit.
What about I can't even the receiver that come from Irmo a couple years ago, Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah, Hyatt.
He was kind of small. Nobody expected anything out of him.
So I remember, what did I read about that? Let's see here. Go ahead. I don't know. I can't remember who offered him, but he got in trouble, didn't he? He got in trouble. I think that's what it was. Didn't he have some issues with the police there, Jackpot?
No.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's not a problem for us.
Who? I don't know.
Jalen Hyatt, didn't he have issues with the law or something? I don't remember. There was something with that was
I don't know. We had a player came out that I saw a couple of days ago that ran a stop sign or ran a red light down there in Columbia and caused a damn wreck back in June. And he might be, I don't know. He's got a court date coming up.
Y'all were talking about that player that Clemson didn't offer. These recruiting people, coaches and stuff, they call into the counselor. What kind of student is he? And call the coaches. Is he coachable? All these things.
With that, though, is that Notre Dame has higher academic standards than most universities around the country. That's one of the things that they have to deal with.
Rob, come on, Rob. You know as well as I do, they got players on that team that couldn't read cat and hat if they wanted to.
Well,
Rooster says Beamer kicked Hyatt out of the basketball stage. No, that was
somebody else.
That was Antonio Williams.
Think back with me, and y'all name this kid. When Spurrier was at South Carolina, there was this really, really good quarterback at Myrtle Beach. Nobody wanted him. Spurrier didn't want him. SEC teams didn't want him. ACC team, and he wound up at Notre Dame. And 2 years later, he got suspended. Guess what they found out? He couldn't read. What was that kid's name?
That was the kid that Tony. Goodness gracious, was it from Orangeburg?
Yeah. Well, when I hear this, Stanford and all these, we in Vanderbilt, we can no you. Prop 48, you got Prop 48 too. You got kids that need tutors and everything too.
I'm looking at Hyatt's stuff here. Clemson did not offer him. South Carolina did not offer him. So both of those schools missed on a guy that's going to be on a roster now. But I thought something.
He's already gone. But that's what I'm saying. They could have probably called the football coach and said he's an ass. He's not coachable. The counselor his guidance counselor could have said he's got poor grades. They could have even called the local police department. Yeah, he's got a rap sheet long as your arm. Who knows?
Sure.
Who knows? And I'm sure Dabo has a reason, and he doesn't have to justify anybody why he's not bringing that kid to the program. But it is interesting that now you start looking at, I brought this up a couple of weeks ago, all these schools on 247, they do a good job showing all the schools that offered kids stuff and everything. And it just makes you, just like Clemson and this guy, what's wrong with this kid? It makes you wonder. And I'll get off here. I'll talk to you later. Octavian, 14 plus Tennessee plus 14 points, buddy.
Yeah. All right, let's welcome Rob has an SEC bias, and then Jackpot's probably got to go. I got to get to bed here too because I'm on my way to Charlotte.
Yeah, we got to get up early.
Well, I'll be quick. I just got a couple things I wanted to talk about. First off, did you guys see that they're raising the scholarship limit on teams to 105?
Yeah, we did. We talked about that earlier.
Okay, yeah. I was a little late. Sorry about that. Another thing I want to talk about, I was reading something. This came out of left field. It was posted today on some Colorado website. But apparently they're already talking about, the most likely places for Dion to move if he does. And they were saying South Carolina would be the best, the prime spot for him to go, for lack of better word.
No pun intended, the prime spot.
Can y'all believe that? South Carolina of all places? I would hate that, man. At that point, nobody's talking about your fucking football team. They're just talking about your damn head coach and what all he's doing.
Yeah, I know. That wouldn't. No.
No, I'd hate that. And also I saw
shithole. What that would be? A shithole.
Well, Pro Football Focus put out their early draft rankings. I don't know if you saw. They got TJ.
One thing about it, though, one thing that you would find out, if how everything about the inside of the program that you ever wanted to know would be exposed, and you'd find out if you would find out if Beamer is really as much of a shithead as I think that he may possibly fucking be.
Well, I've been on the record. I've been on the record. I think Beamer gets a lot of unwarranted hate at this point. I mean, he had a bad year last year. Nobody's saying he didn't, but his body of work hadn't been terrible. It's actually been pretty decent for our history. So, it's a results-driven game, though. I guess you're only as good as your.
I'm gonna stay on that ass until we start doing something.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to add something to the bookcase of accountability. Shane Beamer's a better coach than Dion Sanders.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Put that out there. Shane
well,
Beamer's
I also saw they've got Tonka Hemingway on the Pro Football Focus draft rankings as the 5th best D lineman to start off the year. What do y'all think about that?
Sure.
Yeah, I think he's an underrated player. I think it's a good thing that they got him to come back.
Yeah.
I
misspoke. It was TJ Sanders. I misspoke. My bad. TJ Sanders. But if you look at the list, it was I think they only put out 5 of them. Who all was on it?
Papa B says Shane Beamer is not a better recruiter than Dion Sanders.
Mason Graham.
Tell me what Dion Sanders' class is ranked right now.
Listen, Dion Sanders' classes are so top heavy. I don't think you can.
Tell me what his class is ranked last year.
I mean, the dude will get a 5-star and then load up a bunch of 3-star transfers.
24 rankings. I've got them right here. South Carolina finished 16th. Oh, that's in the transfer portal. Let's look at the 2024 rankings, the class that just completed. Let's see what we got here. I'll give you that in just a second. But I thought South Carolina finished 22nd. And I'm looking to see where Colorado is right now. Let's see here. Where am I still here? 2020. That's 2025. Go to 2024, stupid. Anyway, finish up what you were saying there, sir.
No, I was just mentioning the other people who showed up on the list. It was just above TJ Sanders was Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant and Deion Walker. I didn't realize Michigan was going to have such a stout D line. They got the top 2 D linemen in the NFL class according to PFF. Did y'all realize that?
Did not know that.
Pro Football Focus has the top 2 defensive linemen. Both are coming out of Michigan.
Yeah, they're still going to be they're going to be good this year. I mean, they're not going to be able to move the ball like they did last year, I don't think. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them beat Texas at home.
Who's their quarterback now? Maybe I'm mistaken. I can't think of it. Did they get a transfer?
Some weird name. No, it's some guy who's Alex Orgy. Orgy?
Yeah, we'll go with that, Jackpot. By the way, Shane Beamer's class was 22nd. Colorado's class is 81st. They're not even the best in their state. Colorado State was ranked 75th. So Shane Beamer's a better recruiter than Dion Sanders, too, and I have proof of it.
Not to mention, Dion won, what, 4 games with that absolute slag dick of a schedule?
81st, and Shane Beamer's 22nd. Colorado State was 75th. All right? So he's 59 slots lower than what Shane Beamer's class is this season.
What's he got to do, in y'all's opinion, to just Colorado to fire him outright?
They're never going to fire him.
I don't think so either. I think he could just roll out and not win a single game and just wear those damn pit vipers and get through the rest of the season.
He's just going to continue to roll a huge turd out there every year, and
they're getting
fame and bravado.
Right.
Will keep him.
I will say that motherfucker wouldn't last a season, maybe 2 seasons at South Carolina. The fans would revolt.
He draws numbers there. They've sold out the stadium sold out for the 2nd year in a row.
What's it hold? 40,000?
I don't know the capacity, but that they're at capacity where before they had I think they averaged about 5,000 fans there. So they're going to keep, as long as people keep buying tickets and everything else, they'll keep him there. Why would you? I mean, you're going to get your same TV money. You're selling out your stadium. Why would you make a change? You haven't cared about winning in fucking forever. Why start now?
At some point, those fans are going to dry up, man. They can't keep coming out just to see fucking Dion. I just refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, they have done the past 2 years. So.
It's like a sideshow.
It really is.
I mean, it's like a sideshow. I mean, you can only see the bearded lady so many times before it gets old.
Yeah. But Biscuit's right. They used to be good, but they're not good now. They haven't been good in a while, man. A long, long fucking time.
I see this the Schultz guys. Y'all read his comment? Who's disrespecting Spurrier? I've never seen any Spurrier disrespect.
I don't know, but the only thing that I find that I can't what I'm trying to put it in words here that I don't really care for about him is he's always beating the Florida Gator drum, and he's always on their fucking podcasts and talking shit and this and that. But you don't ever see him wear any fucking South Carolina shit. You don't ever see him acknowledge the fact that you were here and just left in the middle of the fucking night, basically, orphaned a team. But
not only that, but gave up on recruiting.
He also did everybody a favor.
Yeah.
He did them a favor by leaving 6 weeks early because they had a 6-week jump on the head coaching search that everybody else didn't have. But the best they could come up with was Will fucking Muschamp. So, par for the course, they fumbled that shit too. Had a layup and fucking missed it.
Well, and like I said, I could handle him leaving early, but him just giving up on recruiting basically the last 2 years he was there, it's just unforgivable. I mean, the team he left us with was it was just atrocious, man. It was garbage. Just
Colorado
failure
had
after failure at quarterback. You remember Lorenzo Nunez, Brandon McElwain. All these are Spurrier guys, dude. Like, what the hell?
McElwain was a Muschamp.
Oh, was he? That must have been an early Muschamp.
Yeah, that was one of the kids Muschamp lied to. But Colorado, well, he told him you're going to be the starting quarterback.
He lied to me too. He said, "I'm gonna come in here and turn this thing around, Jackpot."
Hey, he was the starting quarterback until he went out there and played like absolute fucking shit, Rob. The dude was terrible.
Starting quarterback, and
he was like 5'6".
He was awful. I think I actually ended up following his career. He went out to Cal, and I think he just retired from football after that season and just became full-time baseball.
Yeah, I mean, Muschamp ruined him. Muschamp's the only guy that you'll ever meet that turned a guy that was a top 5 MLB draft pick into I'm working at fucking Best Buy in 3 years flat.
Listen, he was the quarterback destroyer. I don't know how many 4-star quarterbacks Muschamp recruited that never even lasted 3 fucking games because they were terrible. They were all terrible.
By the way, I got to get this stat out here. Colorado's had 1 winning season since 2008. 1 winning season. In 2016, they went 10-4. After that, they've had losing seasons every year, including 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fuck, man. I can't even keep track of it. At least 5 of those seasons, they won 3 games or less.
Damn.
They are a terrible program right now. So,
and listen, once who the fuck's going to play quarterback for him once Shador is gone? They're not going to be able to get a quarterback in there.
Dion's probably leaving with his kids.
You think Dion will go?
He's gone. I think he's done.
Well, if he's not, like I said, who are you going to talk into playing quarterback there? They're going to win 1 fucking game. The only reason they won any games was because Shador basically had Herculean efforts all year long. I mean,
and Travis Hunter too. Travis Hunter's a hell of a player.
Yeah, he's a beast too.
So, all right. Well,
Big Barney Ross says he could out-eat Joey Chestnut
in hot dogs because
I had to take a double take at that and rub my eyes for a second, make sure that he didn't say I can eat out Joey Chestnut.
It's like, what the fuck is Big Barney Ross doing up there in the land of the blue?
Exactly. Thank goodness.
He must have did a bourbon review. He's feeling spicy tonight. That's what it is.
By Big Barney Ross are outstanding, by the way. Be sure to check those out. All right. Well,
I'll leave you with this, Rob. I know y'all got to get off. I'm sitting here. I've got it paused for us. I'm about to whoop y'all's ass tonight on some college football. I might drop 100 on your weak ass fucking squad. You're lucky Dabo's not in there, or I might go truck him on the fucking sideline just for fun.
Why don't you drop? You send me your handle, and I'll play against you, and I will beat you like you stole something.
I'll beat you like a redheaded stepchild, Rob. Don't play with me, man.
I'll beat you like
You beat him like a bald-headed stepchild.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night, all right?
But hold up. Horns down. Fuck Texas all year long. I hate you. I'm going to disrespect you forever until I die. All right? Horns down. They're still the real UT, though.
All right, we got to get up early. We got shit to do tomorrow. Thank you, guys.
Shit to do.
All right.